know, I run a channel here on YouTube focuses mainly on old style traditional martial arts and conditioning training, endurance and toughness training, and a bit of law enforcement stuff. So this isn't meant to look fantastical or whatever. It's not me trying to look good or anything like that, and it doesn't. But today we're going to do the old karate punch, because I enjoy old style martial arts stuff. So this is for anyone who follows the Arm Body Martial Arts course. This is for anyone who follows the channel and any of the Patreon guys, and just for anyone in the martial arts. Okay, so we all know the punch that is thrown like this, yeah? And this is how it generally accepted, like this is the main way to punch. You throw the punch like this. But there's an older, more direct, more traditional way of punching, and it's shared by old Okinawan karate. And it's really simple, it's really easy, and the dynamics of the punch change. So there's not just one way of punching, there's loads of ways of punching for what you want to do. So let me show you the punch. Hopefully it makes sense to you, and I'm not going to try and make myself look good or whatever, and trust me, I won't. So anyway, but give it a try yourself. So doesn't matter how you start, whether you start here or however you want to start it for your training. But all you need to do for this punch is, and there's an old Okinawan master who said, you do this for training and you do this for killing. And that's basically what it is, okay? So you throw a punch, yeah, and instead of ending like this, which you can see pushes the elbow out here, you end the punch like so, yeah? And this is the same way you'd strike the makiwara, yeah? You actually strike it off kilter, yeah? And what this does as well is it just creates a straight, easy, direct punch where the elbow's tucked, yeah? I'll stand away, boom, and it just goes straight in a line. And it's really easy to throw, yeah? And you don't need to even do any kind of hikite or other elbow. But you see the difference here, it's not like this. So when you're throwing a punch like this, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's for a different circumstance, yeah? Different circumstance. Personally, I wouldn't throw a straight punch like this, because you can see when it strikes, the power from the elbow can be lost, yeah? So personally, a straight punch for the face, I wouldn't really throw it like this. I'll always throw, obviously if it's going for here, it's a hook, but I'd throw this off kilter, yeah? It's a really strange way of punching, but give it a try. So just however you want to stand, and then this just comes straight, yeah? Yeah, straight out. Or hopefully all the Okinawan karate guys will know this. Yeah, just comes straight up, yeah? And it's really like effortless. You can do it straight ahead of you, boom, or you can do it this way, yeah? And it's elbows tucked. But don't worry, you don't have to focus on tucking this elbow. If you just keep the knuckle twisted here, you'll get the idea, yeah? And usually this is followed up with a grip like this, yeah? Yeah, and it's in there. Boom, sternum, yeah, or face, yeah? But great for this kind of sternum body area, boom, there, yeah, and just throw it in, bah, yeah? Yeah. And just give it a try and see how, I mean, you can see it just, well, I don't know. I'm not trying to make it look good or amazing. I'm just trying to tell you the way the punch is, and also just show it in a relaxed power kind of manner, not like me trying to look all rigid and stuff, because you can't actually effectively fight rigid like that, you know. This goes back into the Kung Fu. You know, although this was originally done traditionally in Okinawan karate has its origins in Kung Fu, but obviously things change. And then at some point, now Okinawan karate is actually nice and fluid, but it can be. But at some point between Okinawan karate and modern Japanese karate, there's been a rigidity that's been introduced into everything, which in some beliefs actually takes power away, you know, limits power, okay? And I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but there is one video of a Okinawan karate practitioner who fights in some kind of UFC or some of those. I don't know if it was actually the UFC or one of these tournaments. And you know, he throws this one strike, you know, traditional kind of Masu Tatsuya style single good karate punch for his opponent. But pretty much it's so rigid, and after that one or two punches, he just literally gets taken out, you know. So even his punch was not as powerful as he hoped it to be. Ergo, you're better off being more relaxed power, yeah, tensing at last moment. At the end of the day, you can practice whatever mixture of strength generation you want. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying, and everything always changes. But give it a try. You know, if you're someone who's always punched like this, and your punch terminates like this, yeah, know that there's a different one, yeah, where the dynamics are different, yeah, where the dynamics go off kilter slightly, yeah, boom, and it's straight down the line, yeah, and it is powerful, yeah, it's just straight down the line, bah, yeah, and it hits in like that, yeah, sort of this to that, doesn't matter, and there is a bit of a twist in there, but it's mainly just about a straight line power. It'd be better if I had something to hit, boom, I could show you, but it's a bit more like straight line power, yeah. It's not about trying to look powerful in the video footage. Just get your bag, get your makiwara, get your sand pad, get whatever, and just do it. Just practice it yourself. Yeah, yeah. Not too rigid. Get the power in there. Yeah. It's a bit different for the face, and then obviously if you're hooking, you're doing other kinds of things. But definitely for that center punch, straight down the line punch, it makes a great mixture between the flat fist, yeah, which is again something different, and this this fist, yeah, yeah, and you can see where the power is different when that elbow raises, yeah. So send it up, center line, send it up there, yeah, boom, center line, boom, 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 center line, yeah. Boom. However you want to do it, whether you want to do it leading hand, boom, yeah, or whether you want to do it reverse, boom, yeah, whether you want to do it big stances, yeah, but still it's the same. See, off kilter, and I use this hit a lot for conditioning, yeah, just boom, yeah. And like everything with my channel, it's a bit of a nuance. I'm not saying it's the best thing in the world, but give it a try if you don't know it. And also if you're into your conditioning, obviously you are hitting with these two knuckles still, yeah. But yeah, like I said, I forget which master it was, but there's a famed Okinawan master who's quoted as saying, again, a bit of an old secret technique, but you know, it's like this for training and this for fighting, you know, and that's the kind of difference, and that's maybe a bit of a insight into why this developed as well, yeah, this kind of straight like so, yeah, because this you know, was considered the kind of deadly version. This is the training version, you know, for whatever reason, mainly because the elbow's tucked, and the power is just different, yeah. It's coming from, again, locked in low, yeah, and everything is locked in, yeah. The guy, Okinawan karate guys, are really recognize that kind of movement, and that's, I'm pretty sure should be how they're hitting, yeah. Yeah, as opposed to the full roll, like we see in, I don't know, boxing or whatever, kickboxing and all the other things. But anyway, give it a try. Know that there's this slight twist that makes a difference. As you can see, it does with the elbow. There's the elbow line, and when you just slightly twist the fist, the elbow line changes, yeah? It changes the power, yeah? So try it, the real karate punch, the real old karate, old kung fu punch, not this, but this. And straight down, it's different, yeah? It's different. Yeah, there's not so much of a twist, it's just a straight. Yeah, it's a straight. Boom, 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 relaxed power, boom, straight line, boom, relaxed power, boom, boom. And it's all about the effect at the end, not about what it looks like getting there. And it's again, it's relaxed power. Yeah, and I'm not trying to look good and look like, oh, I'm so good, you know, and rah, you know, it's just doing the job at the end like a bullet. Yeah, boom, it goes there. You know, also great for the conditioning training, because that's why you train it. And the same with on the makiwara. If you're drilling your makiwara, you know, don't be drilling your makiwara like this, you know, which we've all done for years, but do this hit. This is the hit. This is the hit, slightly off kilter, yeah? And it's straight. You'll see that the difference is it's straight in. Straight, 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 straight. Yeah, not like this, yeah? And you can see the elbow makes it different. That's my elbow with the normal punch. And that's my elbow with the old Kung Fu Karate punch. Look at the difference in angle, yeah? Elbow's pointing down there, yeah? More that way, or elbow's pointing there. And of course what happens here, force bleeds out that way, force maintains shoulder, look, bleeds out, bends, but if you twist it down, everything's locked under here, yeah? And this again is, you know, just, it's a nuance, it's an old style sort of Kung Fu Okinawan karate thing, but if you don't know it, give it a try, give it a practice, because it's a thing that lots of people spend a lot of time trying to perfect. The only difference is, you know, I've seen it trained, I've seen this pulled in elbows trained with the normal kind of punch or slightly thing, but again, a bit rigid. So don't worry about being rigid, just, you know, do your practice on your makiwara or your conditioning tool, but just make it, you know, it can be fluid. Yeah, it doesn't need to be rigid like copying Okinawan karate or whatever. Although Okinawan karate is also fluid, but you know, you see a lot of it. It's a lot of different karate. Not, you know, there's so much karate out there, and you know, some of it seems quite rigid. So yeah, off kilter and straight down. Yeah, boom. Yeah, you don't even need to do like a hikite or anything like that. I mean, you can if you want, but doesn't really needed for this hit. Yeah, just relaxed punch in. Yeah, like this. You'll see it if you do it on the makiwara as well. Yeah, it's just push. Leading hand, push, 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 push. It's coming a bit more from the tricep. Rear hand saying push, and it's just straight in, straight in, straight in, straight in, straight in, straight in. It's really good for just sinking straight in there, yeah? And then again, obviously, if you know, there's no one way of punching, but if you have to target other body systems, then of course you're going to be throwing other kinds of punches. You're not going to move to the side and go like this straight into the person's face, but obviously you can practice them middle, 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 upper, yeah, upper, yeah, however you want to practice them. And then obviously everything else is another punch, another kind of punch. So for a hook for the side of the head, you'd be doing more like this kind of a punch. But then that's the purpose of it, that the force comes, this force that we were complaining about bleeding before, from here, because we wanted everything down, we don't want force bleeding. This force is now our friend when it comes to making a circular motion with this folding strength of the elbow, obviously. As we come in there, yeah, you can see the angles as it comes in. Yeah, beautiful, nice angles to throw those hits. Yeah. Of course, some good advice I saw this week as well is remember that with bare knuckle, and that's another reason why bare knuckle sort of looks the way it does, is that other than with the sort of open palm, but remember that with bare knuckle striking, you have to obviously squeeze and hold your fists very tight. So, and I saw this on a recent video, and it was very useful, I thought, to get the information out there, is that the way the guards and the movement looks, it's kind of more like your hands are stuck and you're moving around them, because you need to squeeze the fists so tight if you're hitting, you know, a person with the bare knuckle, because obviously otherwise you damage your hand. And I saw one of the bare knuckle fighters talking about this, and I thought, man, that's great information. And that is the reason why the bare knuckle world looks the way it does, you know. And I've done videos in the past, you know, doing these kind of guards where you're sort of hiding behind your guard and you're not doing so much animated. And sometimes people have come on them and gone like, oh, you know, what are you doing? Like, you know, you don't do it like that, you do it like this. But you know, that's the thing. You've got to maintain this strong fist structure if you're hitting things bare knuckle. Yeah, you know, with your thing, not with gloves on or whatever. And you know, you can't really get that unless you're practicing bare knuckle on your bag, or you're doing like bare knuckle fighting or whatever. So it's good to see that, you know, you've got bare knuckle fighters out there, which is a newer mainstream sport, you know, with bare knuckle FC. But you've got bare knuckle fighters out there who are like now, you know, doing conditioning, and you can see it on their channels and stuff, and their YouTubes and whatnot, where they're doing actual like the beginnings of knuckle conditioning, because they've suddenly realized like, man, we've been fighting for years, but we're getting our hands bust. We want to toughen them up. And you're getting other guys talking about their experiences where they're like, man, like, you know, I realized that my you know, the guards I was using didn't, you know, don't work the same, you know, because of the nature of fists. He's like, you know, I saw one fighter talking recently. He was like, man, I had to squeeze my fists like real hard to stop them getting like broken on someone else's head. But because your fists are squeezed so hard, you know, you've got to sort of, exactly, you've got to, you know, it kind of turns into almost like old school style where you've got to, you know, do the old, well, not the old stances, but just it's the movement style, you know. But that's awesome. I love that, because that old movement style is echoed in like Budo and traditional jiu-jitsu martial arts. Even if it's not so, it is in the hand-to-hand stuff, but it's echoed in the weapon work and everything like that. So it's awesome that these old strategies crop up wherever people are, you know, at that fringe of combat, you know, where all the things are removed, you know. And obviously UFC and stuff is like awesome with the way that it is, but again, you've still got those gloves and you've still got those wraps. So that's, you know, that's allowing that last gate to remain in place when it comes to, you know, just the knuckle arts, the pugilism of the very last bit, you know. And that doesn't take anything away from the skill of the people, and it doesn't mean they're not the best. But, you know, for those people who are, you know, the bare knuckle world, and for people who enjoy like the Budo and the finer points, or just the bare knuckle skills and the conditioning, it's like a point worth mentioning. It doesn't make them better than them, but it's a point worth mentioning in study, you know. And that's obviously the point of my channel, which is old style traditional martial arts and conditioning training. So that's the reason I mention it. So old style punch, old style karate punch, to summarize, yeah, and kung fu punch. Try it yourself. Do this punch, not like so, yeah, for a straight punch, yeah, like off kilter and straight down the line, yeah, and just pushes in. Yeah, it can be relaxed and doesn't have to be tense, and it's just straight down the line, in, and go straight. And it's better with, I always like punching actual things. I'm not as much of a fan of how the power just like hits in a line and kind of locks in there. Then, you know, it feels like you can put more of your body like force into it, you know. Without having to twist and pivot and stuff. You can just forward momentum, boom, you can throw it in there, boom. So try it, yeah? And there's a bit of a twisting in there, but it's mainly just natural way down the line. You know, and you can reach with it, boom, yeah? You can still reach and do big stances if you need to, yeah, but it's a straight down the line hit, more better like this. So it's just straight down the line, boom, 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 yeah, boom, boom. Yeah, you don't have to bring the hand back here either. Boom, boom, yeah. It's just straight down the line, you know. And you'll find for bare knuckling that it's good. You know, you won't have as many problems as if you're rolling the hands all the time like this, because this is the original bare knuckle fist posture of like ancient China and karate, Okinawan karate, which is, again, like I said, this for training, this for killing. You know, that was the saying that they used to say. Yeah, it's just straight boom, down, boom. Yeah, give it a try. Try it on your boxing bag. Try it on your sandbag. Try it on your makiwara. You'll see it, especially with the makiwara or anything with a bit of spring, you'll see how it's just kind of, the point of power is just different. It's like, and again, I'm not so much worried about what it looks like in the air and trying to make it look so good for this video and make myself look great. I don't care, because the feeling of the impact and the power you generate, that's what's important. You know, like this finger pointing straight line, that's what's important, yeah? And the ease and quickness of it, yeah? But you can see it's all locked in there, and the elbow, the forces are kind of locked in with the body, yeah? It doesn't need to be rigid, and it's different. That's all you need to know. There's this different from this, yeah? Yeah, it's different, yeah? See, elbow, elbow, yeah? Elbow, elbow, bah, yeah? Yeah, so give that a try, see what you think. You guys may know it already, so let me know how you think about that. Yeah, it's a basic thing, but it's something that I've found out over the years. I've enjoyed training. I've found it's useful for the training, for the conditioning. Yeah, it's useful. And it doesn't seem to be a way of punching that a lot of you know, people actually know. You know, we all know this. And if you say to someone, "How do you punch?" they'll do this. Yeah, and I know now I'm going on a bit because we've got the point out. I'm going on, but that's just because it's a live video. I'm just kind of expanding a bit, but it's a simple point. But yeah, if you ask most people, like, how do you punch? You know, I'm really dead against because lots of people have asked me to do like, do really basic videos like how do you punch and this and that and the next thing. But that's another reason why I hate those kinds of videos, and I've never really done like, you know, how do you punch video. I mean, who cares about me saying how do you punch? But that's why I don't, you know, we've never really done them, because I'm like, well, who am I to teach people how to punch? Because if I did a how to punch video, it would go on for freaking hours, because there isn't one way of punching. You know, there's the sideways punches. If we expand what we're talking about, you know, there's punching sideways for that particular reason. There's, you know, punching in this manner, you know, like this, like the practice training punches that you see, and the Shaolin Kung Fu, like modern punches that you see done where it's all flat and looks like nice like this, whereas it should actually be more like so, if it was to keep up with the real traditional actual Kung Fu. But it doesn't look as good, you know, in the forms if it's off kilter, which it should be. It doesn't look as nice, or in certain points it's for different things, obviously. Because if you're going to hook someone, like I said, you're going to hook someone in the head, you know, yeah, of course you're going to have that flat fist. Boom, you know, it's obvious, yeah. So different fists are used for different things, you know. So there's so many different ways of punching, you know, in lots of different arts, you know. Like we say, we've got the flat fist of Wing Chun style, but it's also in a lot of things. It's in Jiu-Jitsu, yeah, boom, flat Fudoken, immovable fist. It's used for a lot of things. Yeah, we've got kind of traditional, that kind of fist that you see. We've got this kind of fist that I'm talking about. I like to call it like the killing fist, you know. It's not really a killing fist, but it's just a fist, yeah. you know, you've got hooking fists like this. You've got these slammings like so. You've got like a leopard fist like this that hits with these knuckles. Real nice one for neck and things like that, and sternum, but you've got to train it because it can be weak. You've got knuckle fists, yeah, that strike in circles, yeah, in arcs like this, or up, yeah, or like boshiken, another version of boshiken, more from traditional Okinawan karate, which is striking, the sort of striking and a gripping with this knuckle here. And again, that fist, it may look like really crappy, but it's actually really powerful. It can do a lot of damage into the rib cage and sternum, but it can do a lot of damage to you as well. So usually you see it held like this. I tend to do it like that because it matches up with the tendon alignment and the hand. But how I train it is I usually strike it in and I grip. Yeah, so I'll like strike it into a bag like so. Yeah, I'll be like boom, and I grip. But how I train it is I do press ups on it and I hold my weight onto it, and it really builds the strength up of that area, which is great. Obviously, the other fists you've got, as we're expanding on the fist, the other fist you've got is the knife fists of the various kinds. You've got like the relaxed knife fist, which is good, which is actually good if you're in any kind of armor or whatever, or your fist is not as like trained up. Yeah, these you see in jiu-jitsu, yeah, shuto style fist. Those are great, again, for the same things. Then you've got the more Wing Chun or more Kung Fu style fists, or the traditional karate style ones, which is an actual chop, you know, done in like dragon form, however you want to do them. Yeah, but those are chops to like the jaw, yeah, jawbone, boom, boom, neck, yeah, neck, which just sends a jolt to the brain and can just literally knock you out real easy. And if you don't believe me, well, don't try it, but I don't know, get someone to do it to you, or you might have done it in your class. Someone just literally goes like that, boom, on the side of your neck here. You know, the good old James Bond judo chop. Not into the collarbone. It's actually just into the neck here, boom, like that. Just literally with that amount of force, like that, and you'll be seeing stars. So you've got that kind of fist. Of course, you've got things like the Phoenix Eye fist, which used to be old Gishin Funakoshi's one of his favorites. And another kind of Phoenix Eye, which is like this as well. Yeah, those are just various kind of fists striking different areas. You see those. And there's just so many fists. There's probably a lot I've missed out. You've got the old style boshiken like this, which I've seen in jiu-jitsu too. Traditional jiu-jitsu, yeah, where you kind of hit with a flat fist like so into this area. Is a great area for it. Flat fist hitting in like so. But the end of the thumb protrudes, but it's held against there for strength, and it just adds that extra little nasty hit to the Kyusho area, points, muscle bundles, like, you know, around here, under the armpits and stuff. Well, that you do with this knuckle, boom, yeah. Muscle bundle fiber here, boom, yeah. Same sort of thing. What do you call it? Funny bone, you know. So yeah, so we got that one. I think there's about 18 at least of core ones, but I've gone through a lot of them, but just as an expansion thing. But yeah, so yeah, anyway, so to those guys who, like I said, for the people who who've seen the Iron Body Martial Arts course and have found their way here through the links, there's a little bit of an extra lesson to add on to that. To the Patreon guys, there's a little bit of an extra thing. To everyone else who follows the channel, another topic of discussion, this fist, yeah, this fist again. I mean, we've all been punching for so many years and trying to teach each other how to punch, but you know, there's a lot of people out there who you say, look, how do you throw a punch? And they'll just throw this, and that's fine, and it's awesome, and it's effective, but do they know that there's another way? And it's only, there's so many ways, but it's only that much off from this. but it makes a world of difference. It makes a world of difference in the amount of effort your body has to put in. You know, the amount of the amount of tell that you're gonna throw this punch. You know, just you know, the shoulder doesn't roll. It's just straight down the line. Yeah, and it's there, boom. And if you don't have faith in it, well then practice it bare knuckle on your boxing bag, on your makiwara, on your conditioning tool, and see what I mean. Because it's also a nice punch that hits its mark exactly the way you want it to. Yeah, when you're also using it for conditioning and bare knuckle. Yeah, so if you're bare knuckle on like your sandbag or your iron ball bearing bag, it just hits nicely, dead in the way it should do, and it's just, yeah, it just really lands nice, that punch. Yeah, and of course then if you have to change the angle, it's up to you to throw another kind of punch or another kind of attack. Yes, that's your prerogative, but give that one a try. Yeah. And that's that. So I did a video the other night. I used my new phone, which has actually cost me like 120 bucks. But it's yeah, it looks like the antenna or something, and it's a bit crappy because the video is a bit laggy. But on that video we were doing forearm conditioning or forearm strength training just with the gripper, with a roller. Yeah, so you can go and check that out if you can be bothered seeing laggy stuff. But the essence of it was to use the roller, you know, there's the rope with a weight at the bottom and a stick or a bucket or whatever. But, you know, not just doing like so, putting a little bit more weight in, and we were literally rolling it all the way. Each grip, each time we twisted it, we were turning our bodies and literally rolling to the opposite side of our bodies like this and holding it there. And obviously you can see the sort of kind of silk reeling kind of motion that does. It uses and engages a lot of body, and again, it's great for your guard, for your grip, and of course for your core and your rooting when you're throwing your punches. Yeah, so good stuff there. All right, guys. I think we'll call it a day with that one. More of me prancing around my garage. I do see all your guys' comments, so thanks for those. I've been busy with the kids and stuff, so yeah, apologies. The videos are not so often. I just had really busy time with two little young kids. One of them probably gonna wake up soon anyway. But yeah. Okay, well, have a good one. I'll catch you guys around.